What's up, Mr. Jackson? Nice job on the PR. Changes seem to be coming together. Let's take a peek. This is your PR throw. I'm going to play it full speed here. Let's take a peek. Not bad. Okay, so coming along. You did a better job. I can see what you're focusing on. Now, there was a couple of cues, and it was getting this foot moving more so that you're going to get a better set, which it's definitely better. Before it was just kind of picking up. So now you can see it's rolling, and that's allowing your hips to come around better. You're getting a better sprint. This has got the nice counterbalance with the left arm and the right leg. Liking the way that looks. Doing a better job, and then trying to keep this arm long. I think that definitely was one of the big game changers for you, because it's still folding back a little bit, but because you're keeping it out, it's keeping your chest over that knee, and because of that, you're taking now longer, and you can see that you have much more ground contact, whereas the videos last week, you could see your upper body was opening up way too much, and you were losing. Now, you're still coming off a little early, but there's much more hip into it, and that's why you're able to get behind the ball, and you're not flying out of the circle either, right? So it's allowing you to engage your block sooner, and you're doing a nice job of keeping this block foot down on the ground. I don't mind when this comes off a little early. Rotational throwers, you're going to kind of see that in the shot. That's far better than this coming off the ground early. So I think we just want to kind of keep really working on the length of that arm. It could be even a little longer. You're going to play with it. So here's your next cue that's hopefully going to get you consistently over 50 feet, because I can definitely see that coming. So what we want to be is we want to feel your left arm. We want to start feeling yourself pulling into the throw, and you're pretty close, but you want to be very aggressive about opening the left arm and left leg with this right foot pivot, and you want to feel that pop pull you in, so that you're still rotating a little here. And what we're going to see is swing it in, and that's going to pull you. You'll feel that hesitation there, and then it'll start going again, which you're close, but you can see how it kind of pulls in, and I don't think that's anything necessarily bad, but we still want to get this hip and this foot rotated more. So the thing that we're going to try to play with is because I think you just did the cue, keep playing with this. I think the entry position looks pretty good. If we can get more of that push, we're going to get around. Again, I like the sprint in. We still got a little bit of this. I'd like to see that level out. But see, you do a nice job here. That stays nice and level, and you can see how that right foot's in. Feel that nice big push. I think you could feel a little bit more push off of the left, and continue to play with the length of that left arm. And when you sink, just keep that right foot moving. That's one of the big differences too. It's hitting and it's not pausing, or it's not stopping. So because you're not falling back. So at this point, I'd like to see right there, this heel would be coming up a little bit more, but as you keep working on that, that's going to get better. But as you feel that kind of throwing of that left arm, and then you're going to feel it throw in, that was definitely much better. So your continued adjustments are continue to feel that foot rotate. Get this foot moving a little bit sooner. Excuse me. Continue to keep the arm long. Like I said, I like where this is at, by trying to keep it long. That pulled you in a better position. But we're going to play with, as you come out of here, really throwing that left arm aggressively in. But I think these things look good. So we want to just keep those hips under you. You kind of push the hips back a little bit at this position, but it's not bad. And now we're getting a much better block and lift, and that's why, again, you're not flying out of the ring. It's really good. So good work. You know, you go through these little ruts, and when you're your age, you know, a few weeks feels like forever, but nice job on the PRs, looking good. I think if you just continue to get your rhythm on this, don't be trying to smash throws, keep trying to make these movements better, and you're going to hit those bigger throws that you want. But if you just start thinking hammer it, you're going to rush through. So I would add, one suggestion is the slow continuous throws. You can mix those in. That doesn't mean do them throughout an entire practice. It means take a handful and every so many throws it's a slow continuous throw. Now the one thing I would like to see is this foot still opens a touch too much. So I think if that's closed a little bit more, that's going to allow, you're going to get that right side punching through. That block's going to be a little more significant, and you're going to wind up hitting, you're going to pick up some more distance. So any rate, man, this is what perfect example of continue the current path. You made some nice adjustments, hit a good PR, and we just want to keep working those things so that as you get into these important meets over the course of the next few weeks, you're just feeling good, comfortable, great rhythm, and that's how you hit the big throws. When the adrenaline comes, you do this with a lot of adrenaline, it's going to go. Okay, so let's take a peek at your discus. All right, Mr. Jackson, let's take a peek at the discus. Here I'm going to watch it again, fast motion. Speed's coming. Got to get that right under you. This was the foul. Let me tell you what was wrong with this one and why you fouled. Well, your right foot definitely need to be under you. That would have been helpful. So that kind of made you lunge at a little bit. So you lost some distance. I like the speed on it, but here's where it is. Look, wait, let's freeze it. Boom, right there. Let's zoom that in. Jackson, he's seen a UFO. There it is. Let me look at it. And now you fail. So don't look at the throw. That's always what I tell all you young guys. Don't look at the throw. If you would have just regained control, you would have stayed in. You would have held that throw. And that was a good toss. So now let's look at a couple things. Technically, I like the entry. This is looking better. You still get this too high of a shoulder. And remember, what I want you focusing on is keeping the left arm moving through the window all the way through, right? So that means that left arm's got to be moving through here, and you can see how it's up. And then it kind of comes around. Actually, let's do it this way. Technically, your window is the top of the shoulder and the chest. Okay, so here you're through the window, and then you come out of the window right there. And right now that arm should be about here, because that would pull you around, and that would get your right foot under you better. Instead, see what happened was, because that was high, you started to pull the shoulder out of position, and now that shoulder is trying to cut into the throw too early, right? It's taken a shorter, tighter path. And we want the same thing in the discus. We want that discus arm, that elbow up. You could have the arm bent, but you want the elbow away from you. So let's take a peek at some. Okay, Jackson, so here's what we're talking about. Here's Malachowski again. Look at when he comes around. Look where the arm is, because that's going to help him turn around the axis. And see what I was talking about? The elbow, you can have the arm long. So there's a number of throwers that keep the arm long, but the elbow is away. So even though he's got a bent arm, see how the elbow is away? So that takes the shoulder path level and long, right? You can see here, you come out, whereas he's here. So see how that's going to keep him on a more controlled line, and that's going to keep his right side moving into the throw. So this is definitely better, but we got to get out of this kind of sit back, old school kind of thing. And that was good. And then right here, the elbow dropping. When that elbow drops, that's pulling your upper body behind. It's getting you off kilter. So now you've got this line. Okay? So you've got that line. So, and look at Malachowski when he's here. Look at the line. It's like crazy, right? So this you can rotate on, and you're kind of here. And so what that yields you, that's why you're coming around this way. And so what you can see is how these things move. See how he's going to come around real flat, and you're, excuse me, you're kind of you lunged at it. You came off the ground a little too early. Again, you can see his hips are totally into the throw, and it's right at that release point, so he can really pull around nice and big. And then, dun da da da, you looked at the throw, and that's why you fouled. So, at any rate, hopefully that's making sense for you. You want to keep this arm through the window all the way and keep the elbow away from you. I think everything's going really good. I like the rhythm. I like the speed. I like the movement. I'm happy to hear you. Dad said you dropped 20 pounds. That's absolutely helping you, no doubt. So just keep being disciplined, eating right. Last weekend when I was in San Diego, I talked to Daniel Stahl. I think you and I had talked before about him. Daniel Stahl is a easy gainer, and so he talked about he's only eats he eats very specifically because he can gain weight so easily. So like we talked when you're out here, some guys are hard gainers, some guys are easy gainers, and so both guys got to work at it different ways. So just keep doing what you're doing. Proud of you. It looks good. I think if you can make that little adjustment and keep that elbow away, that's a pretty easy thing to work on. I think you hit this throw, and this is an even bigger throw, but the speed's looking good. So good work, and let me know how it goes. If you got anything this weekend, I'm heading out of town, so I'll be able to get you this, and keep kicking butt. All right, man. Good work.